Welcome to the Campfire. This week we're starting off by analyzing the lower classifications in our Randall's film session. Let's get things started in 4A Division II, where Belleville finished the 2023 season as the state runner-up. And the Brahmas have some pieces to make another run at the title. Belleville returns the district offensive MVP in running back D.D. Murray and the overall MVP in defensive tackle DJ Sanders. Those are two huge veterans that head coach Grady Rowe can rally behind. Corian Hood also returns with Murray in the backfield, as the Brahmas' misdirection offense should continue to confuse opposing defenses. Moving up to 4A Division I, what a 2023 season for the Needville Blue Jays. They went 10-3 and advanced to the third round of the postseason behind a potent offense led by running back Deshaun Burton. And guess what? Burton, his district's offensive MVP, is back, and he's looking to add to his 2,400-yard junior campaign. Houston ISD is hoping schools like Worthing and Yates have big years like last season, but those two got hit hard by graduation. Going even deeper in the lower classifications to 3A, and the Houston area has some serious title contenders in Hitchcock and Columbus. Both teams led by future Big 12 quarterbacks. At Columbus, the Schobel family rules the roost. Adam Schobel is the Cardinal quarterback, heading to Baylor for college, while his cousin John was his district's Defensive Player of the Year, and he's back as well. Hitchcock is the two-time defending state champions in basketball, but their pigskin skills aren't too shabby either. Lloyd Jones Jr., a dangerous dual-threat signal caller, is heading to Texas Tech. Also, look out for Corey Hardy for the Bulldogs, who was the district newcomer of the year last season.
The film session is brought to you by Randall's. Find these great items on the Chevrolet Inside High School Sports End Cap and take your shopping game to the next level. Chevrolet Inside High School Sports is brought to you by the Houston area Chevy dealers. Together, let's drive.
For an even deeper look at the lower classifications, here's producer Ward Fasold and the Houston Chronicle's John Poorman with a district breakdown.
Alrighty, it is district breakdown time. John Poorman's with us from the Houston Chronicle. We are talking lower classifications before next week we dive into 5A and 6A districts. And to start in 4A Division I, one of the things I was really interested about is, we have our teams in Region 3, but then out of nowhere, El Campo and Bay City, they got kind of tossed out to Region 4. So there's a chance that we have two teams that could possibly make it to the semifinals. And then I want to talk a little bit about Needville too. Just the year they had last year was fabulous, and can they build off of that for this year?
Yeah, well, I'll start with Needville. As you mentioned, they had a great run last year. They were in a competitive district, and really showed a lot of grit and determination and what they accomplished. A big part of that had to do with running back Deshaun Burton. He rushed for over 2,400 yards and 36 touchdowns last year for this Needville team, and he's coming back next year as well. He was only a junior, so he's a dynamic playmaker with the ball in his hands, and obviously was kind of the catalyst for that team.
How much did graduation going to hurt Belleville, the team that made it all the way to the state final game?
I really think that this is going to be a really strong team once again. D.D. Murray is back. He rushed for over 2,000 yards and 36 touchdowns. And then Corian Hood, who rushed for over 1,600 yards and 25 touchdowns. Obviously, Sam Hernicki is gone. He was kind of the third guy there out of the two out of the three top guys are returning with that rushing attack.
John, I appreciate you joining us this week, and we will talk to you next week, my man.
All right, sounds good.
We'll post the entire breakdown segment this Wednesday on our social media pages. Now, let's take a look at some game changers in our Players on the Rise, presented by Parker University. One of the most dominating defensive players in the state is DJ Sanders of Belleville. Sanders is simply a disruptive force on the defensive line of scrimmage. He totaled 115 tackles, 28 tackles for loss, and 15 sacks during his junior season. For his career, DJ has almost 30 sacks, and he scored his first 2 touchdowns last season off fumble recoveries. The 6'4", 290-pound defensive lineman has offers from Texas, Texas A&M, Florida, among others. At Hitchcock, Kelshawn Johnson plays wide receiver, but really, you can put this athlete anywhere and he'll make plays. He could easily play defensive back at the next level, but Kelshawn may be too dangerous with the ball in his hands to keep him off the offensive side of the football. Johnson has incredible acceleration off the ball and creative run after catch explosion. Kelshawn has offers from Texas, USC, and Penn State. Columbus's success on the gridiron starts with quarterback Adam Schobel. The 6'4" gunslinger has started for the Cardinals since he was a freshman and hasn't thrown for less than 2,400 yards in any season. As a junior, he tossed the rock for 2,405 yards passing, 30 touchdowns, while only throwing 4 interceptions. Adam has 94 TD passes in his career thus far and has flourished, playing for his dad at Columbus. Schobel has verbally committed to Baylor. When Lloyd Jones Jr. isn't putting up double-doubles on the hardwood, he's behind center for the Hitchcock football team. He threw for 2,700 yards and 35 touches last year. He's a threat to take off running as well, as he ran for 655 yards and 13 more scores. As a sophomore, Big Lloyd threw for 2,800 yards with only 1 pick. Jones helping to lead the Bulldogs to a state title before moving on to Lubbock to play for Joey McGuire at Texas Tech.
Players on the Rise is brought to you by Parker University. Do you or your student want a career training the world's best athletes? Check out our bachelor's degree in strength and human performance today.
Our Ward Fasold caught up with Columbus head coach Matt Schobel to talk about his Cardinals in our Media Day segment.
All right, it's Media Day, and we are joined with Columbus head coach Matt Schobel. Coach, I know you guys love it when I come at you in April to force you to talk to me about what's going to happen in August, but hey, we're in Texas. That's the way it happens in Texas. We can talk about it 365 days a week. My biggest question is, well, not my biggest, but one of my questions is realignment came and went, and not a daggone thing changed for you. You still got to come up with 6 non-district games. And I was wondering how hard that is for you, or do you have a stable of teams that you can rely on to be one of those 6? But I know when it gets a little bit later in the season, it's like other teams are in their districts and you're still looking for some non-districts. How difficult is that for you to find those 6?
Yeah, it's not easy. You know, we had 1 through 5. Kind of lined up, and the 5th and 6th one we had to find. The 5th one they ended up in a big district, so we had to find one there. And then 6 we weren't prepared for at all. But usually when you're looking for week 6, there's not many options. But fortunately and unfortunately, the team you're looking at, they don't have many options either. So we were able to fill it, and it makes it a challenge, but we're excited about our schedule. It's a tough one, tough district, tough region, but we're pleased with it.
Talk about the development of your son there behind center. Obviously, he's been there since he's a freshman. He's obviously gotten better as he goes along.
You know, his strengths are he's obviously got talent and got size and all that, but just the experience he has and the amount of reps and the amount of things he's seen and things that we can do from a mental standpoint with him.
Well, I appreciate it, Coach. I know we're way too early on this deal, but you can, like I said, you can never not talk about Texas high school football. So I appreciate you joining us, Coach, and good luck throughout the year.
You can catch the entire interview Friday on our social media channels. That's going to do it for this week's Campfire. Next week, we head to District 8 5A Division 2. Until then, have a great week, everybody.